This is square technique drill number 2. So we're going to start with basic inward grip. So what we're going to do is flip the thigh out, bring it over the head to protect it as a high block. So we're going to slant the blade down to the left side, do a downward strike, and do an inward retraction. So again, flip it out, come over the head, around, and strike down, flip it back in. Do it again, bring it out, over the head, high block with this sliding down, downward strike, inward retraction. All right, do that a few times, flip it out, over the head, strike, down. If you speed it up a little bit. Same thing with the left hand. So we're going to flip it out, over the head, slanting down to your right, strike down, inward retraction. Again, out, over the head, down, inward retraction. Again, flip it out, over the head, downward strike, and in. All right, practice that a few times, and then we'll move on to this second variation. This is square technique drill number 2. It's the halves portion of this drill. So what we're going to do is start off with the right hand again. We're going to flip it out, bring it over the head. At the same time we bring it here, we're going to come out with the left hand. On the downward strike, you're going to flip it back in, and then flip the right hand back in. So it's just a quick out and in with the left hand as you perform the around the head and downward strike. So again, flip the right hand out, bring it over your head. As you do that, flip the left hand out. As you strike down, flip the left hand back in, and then finish with the right hand coming back in. All right, one more time. Flip it out, over the head, out, back down, and then with the right hand. All right, practice that, and we'll move on to the left. This is square technique drill number 2. We'll do the halves, we'll do the left side this time. All right, so we'll start with the left hand. Flip it out, bring it over the head. As you do that, the right hand comes out. As you strike down, the right hand comes back in, and then in with the left hand. So again, coming out, over the head, strike down, bring it back in. Again, flip it out, over the head. As you strike down, bring that right hand back in, flip the left hand back in. One more time. Out, over the head, strike down, bring the right hand back in, left hand back in. All right, so practice that a few times so you can teach these kids in the class. This is square technique drill number 2. It's putting the halves together. So you've got to practice this so you can teach it in class. It's important. I'm not going to go fast. So we'll start off with the right hand, flipping out, coming over the head. We'll flip the left hand out like we always do. On the downward strike, flip it back in. Now this is where we're going to get complicated. As you flip this in, right hand comes out. Over the head, right hand comes back in, down, and back. So that's putting both halves together. So we'll do that again. Right hand out, over the head, left hand comes out. As you strike down, left hand comes back in. Simultaneous flips. As the left hand comes over the head, right hand comes out. Strike down, flip the right hand back in, left hand comes in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we'll do it slow. Right hand over the head, left hand comes out. Strike down, bring the left hand in. Both hands at the same time. Left hand comes over, right hand comes out. Strike down, flip it back in, back in. Do it one more time, then let you practice. Right hand comes out, over the head, left hand comes in. Strike down, bring it in. Both hands at the same time. Left hand comes over, down and back in, left hand. All right, so that's putting the two halves together. Practice that really well so you can at least give a smooth motion and demonstration during class. Don't have to do it fast, just get a decent rhythm going and to be able to show it to the students. This is the strike, block, and counter drill with random angles and random stepping. And like the previous drill with the random angles and stepping, the attacker is going to step in. Now the difference is they're going to step any direction. So they could step off to the right and throw a strike. They can step off to the left and throw a strike. It doesn't matter. So now we're going to mix up the angles of attack and the attacker's angle of attack as well. So, and then what's going to happen is the defender is going to step in an appropriate direction and block and counter. Then the attacker will again step forward or another direction. So if I step to my right, I might step forward to my left and do the next attack. So we're going to work that for about a minute. And what's going to happen is the attacker is just going to mix up and get off the line for the attacks, and the defender is going to defend themselves and move in the appropriate direction to get away from the attacker and make that block and counter. So run that for about a minute. Have them just go a constant step, 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 and forward or backward. They can step backwards and throw something if they want to. But when they do start this, they want to be at a reasonable distance from each other so that they can actually touch each other. So the defender really has to make a good move to get away from the attacker. But run that for a minute, have them constantly attack for the whole minute without starting over, and then switch attackers and let the other one go.